So while weathering is happening in place, and maybe once in a while a piece breaks off, but not much movement is happening, mass wasting is when a bunch of rocks or soil or sediment or something rapidly moves down a slope. So it's being caused by gravity, and we tend to describe mass wasting by the type of movement we're observing. But first of all, let's make sure we're all clear on what a slope is. So if we have a horizontal plane here, or maybe a horizontal piece of land, we would say that just has a slope of 0. But if we have a hill that's going downward, then we would measure the slope from the horizontal plane. That would be a 30-degree angle, and we would say this land surface has a slope of 30 degrees. And we need these sorts of slopes in order for any mass wasting to occur. So why does mass wasting not occur for a long time and then suddenly occur? Usually there's some sort of trigger. Sometimes it can be a large amount of rainfall. If it really rains heavily in an area, things that were solid rock underneath might get lubricated by the water and might start sliding downhill. Sometimes we naturally increase slopes for lots of different reasons. We might be building things, or we might be doing other things and increasing the slope. If we remove the vegetation, more water can get into the subsurface and cause this sort of movement, and that can also be a problem. Sometimes we remove vegetation by just stripping it away for reasons like forestry or other things. Other times a forest fire can remove the vegetation. And the last thing that can cause mass wasting, trigger it, is any sort of ground vibration, such as associated with an earthquake. So just to kind of show on the right here, when engineers and others are making roads, they're very concerned with this sort of thing, but they are modifying the landscape. Here we started with a single slope coming down in this direction here. We want to put in a flat area on the single slope, in this case a road. So we've kind of made the slope steeper here, but we've also made the slope steeper here. We do one by cutting away material. This would be an area of cut. We do the other part by filling in material. The same with this this structure that was built here, this house that was built here. They had to cut away part of the slope behind the house, and they put in this retaining wall to make sure that now this is a vertical slope, right? This is a straight up and down 90-degree slope. They want to make sure that doesn't move, so they put in a retaining wall so that doesn't happen. And the same thing with their filled in front. They now have a vertical wall there, not depending on nature, but depending on construction, to make sure that fill stays where it's supposed to be. And in good cases that happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Here's a house in California after an earthquake. Their second car ended up at the bottom of this hill here because this part broke off and started going down the slope. And as I mentioned, sometimes we increase the slopes of areas. This is a mine here where all of the material from the mine, except for the valuable material that was taken out, was dumped into these things called tailing piles. And these tailing piles just create this steeper slope in this area where the slope was not previously as steep.